What's up everyone, Sonali here, and welcome back to the channel. So, you've been in the game for a while now. You've put in the hours, built some solid automation, and crushed a good number of bugs. 5 years in the SDT world is a significant milestone, and it means when you walk into an interview, the expectations are just different. They're higher. The questions aren't just about whether you can write a Selenium script anymore. They're about your architectural thinking, your strategy, and your impact on the entire development lifecycle. It's a whole new level of conversation, and being prepared for it is non-negotiable. Today, we're diving deep into the exact questions you can expect to face as a senior SDET. We're going to break down the why behind each question, what interviewers are really looking for, and how you can structure your answers to showcase the full depth of your 5 years of expertise. This is the stuff that can be the difference maker between getting an offer and getting a "we'll keep your resume on file" email. So I highly recommend you grab something to take notes with, whether it's your favorite note-taking app or just a classic pen and paper. We're going to cover a lot of ground, from framework design to CI/CD, and you'll want to remember these key points. Think of this as your personal study guide for that next big career move. Let's get into it. Alright, first up, and this one's a classic for a reason. What is your approach to designing a test automation framework from scratch? This is your first big chance to prove you're not just a script writer, but an architect. They're testing your long-term vision. So the first thing I talk about is scalability. A framework built for 5 tests should be fundamentally the same one that can handle 5,000. Think modular design from day one. Separate the test logic from the test data. Separate the test logic from core framework utilities. Use design patterns like the page object model to abstract UI details. If a button ID changes, update one place, not 100 scripts. Sooner or later, every interviewer is going to ask this. How do you handle flaky tests? My first response is always about resisting the quick fix. The first real step is deep root cause analysis. Is it a timing issue where the front end renders too slowly? Is it a test data dependency, where one test pollutes the environment for another? You need robust logging. Every click, every API call, every assertion. When a test fails, I want to see a full trace. I might also bring up the concept of a quarantine zone. If a test is identified as flaky, it gets moved to a separate suite where it doesn't block the main CI/CD pipeline. The next logical step in the conversation is CI/CD. This is where you demonstrate how your work fits into the bigger picture of software delivery. My answer starts by framing automation not as a separate activity, but as an integral quality gate within the pipeline. You can't run your entire 8-hour regression suite on every single commit. So, I discuss strategies like parallel execution, running tests across multiple virtual machines to drastically reduce the feedback loop. Finally, it's crucial to talk about visibility and reporting. I describe how I configure the pipeline to send immediate notifications to the relevant team when a build breaks. At some point, they'll want to know how you think strategically. So they'll ask, how do you prioritize which test cases to automate? My answer always starts with one key concept: risk-based testing. The highest priority for automation should be the functionality that, if it were to break, would cause the most damage to the business. After covering the critical paths, the conversation shifts to return on investment. I prioritize tests that are tedious, repetitive, time-consuming to perform manually. The final piece is coverage, but not just code coverage. Business logic coverage, requirements coverage. I work closely with product managers to understand acceptance criteria. The war story, a challenging bug. Every interviewer loves a good story. My go-to story is about a subtle race condition I found in an e-commerce checkout process. Very rarely, a user applying a discount code would see the discount applied on screen, but their credit card would be charged the full amount. The key was realizing that I needed to introduce chaos. I modified my test framework to add slight, randomized delays between steps in the checkout flow. I set up the test to run in a loop overnight. By morning, out of thousands of runs, it had failed 3 times. And because my framework had detailed logging and video recording, I had 3 perfect recordings of the bug in action. I packaged the evidence and scheduled a call with the back-end developers. Seeing the video made it click for them instantly, and they were able to add the proper locking mechanism. And there you have it. 7 of the most important questions you can expect as a senior SDT, and a solid framework for how to answer them. Remember, the goal isn't to memorize these scripts word for word. It's to understand the thinking behind them. Interviewers want to see your thought process and strategic mindset. Your answers need to be filled with real-world examples and the lessons you've learned along the way. Your stories are your most powerful asset in these interviews. I hope this deep dive gives you the confidence to walk into your next interview fully prepared to demonstrate your value. I'm really curious to hear from you. What's the toughest SDT interview question you've ever been asked? Drop a comment down below. If you found this video valuable, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on more tech career and interview tips. I'll see you in the next one.